What's going on, Dylan Madden here. So by this point, you've gone through the entire Freelance Profit Manual, so I'm putting together this bonus module for you, as well as quite a few others that I'm going to just record all for you right now and then just drip them out. That way you're able to go through each of them and implement them, and then you're going to have another piece of, or another module that you can implement. So in today's module, you and I are going to be talking about something I call the Archetype Strategy. Now, if you're familiar with an archetype it's essentially a character. There are archetypes throughout all the different stories, both the Bible. You can read any type of book out there, and there are different archetypes you can find. Like a lot of the time, there's like the jester, the villain, the hero, the king, and all of that. Now, how does this connect to building your client business? Well, it connects to, and this is something that I've been using for a while, and I've only talked to people behind the scenes about, but it's called, essentially, you build an archetype for your client. Now, why do you want to build an archetype for your client? You want to build an archetype for your client, that way you really understand who this person is. And it really, really helps, especially, and just for the context, especially if you are going to be writing emails, you're going to be building funnels, writing sales pages, making graphics, doing video editing for them, web design. It especially helps with that, because you are able to open up your notebook, and this is my notebook right here. You're able to open up your notebook and have a breakdown for that particular client. And this really comes in handy once you reach the point where you're working with 2, 3, 4, 5 different clients. Because by that point, you're going to have so many different clients you're working with that you're going to have to take on different ideas, different tonalities with each of those clients. So what I want you to do is take out a notebook, take out a pen, and I want you to write down the name of your client, so XYZ. You don't have to sit there and draw anything. You don't have to do that. If you want to take it to that level, you can. I'm just not the best drawer. Like, I can draw some pretty nice stick figures, but outside of that, I can't really draw too well. So I write down their name. I write down a list for their strengths. I write down a list for their weaknesses. And then below that, I write down the action steps for me to take them from where they are now to where I envision they can actually go, which is obviously increasing their sales. Maybe it's increasing their email signups, whatever it is. A lot of the time it's going to include both of those. And then from there, whenever you go to actually write for that person or create a sales page, whatever it is that you're doing, you're able to take on that archetype. You're able to view them as a character, and you are the author for that character. Do you get what I'm saying? So I want you to think about that. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter at MoneyBagLives. Or if you're in the private group, which you should be, just reach out to me at RealDylanMadden, and I can go into more specific context for you. But I want you to start viewing your client as an archetype that you are creating. So you are very familiar with their weaknesses, their strengths, and then from there you know the game plan. So let me give you an example. Let's say your client, their weakness is with their Twitter marketing, and you just do emails, but obviously with their Twitter marketing, that directly impacts your job because it's sales and then also getting email signups. So you look over their weakness and you put together a game plan to better cultivate that archetype, that character, into having more email signups. Let's just start with that. So how can you do that? Well, your game plan is to give them some tweets that they can start doing and implementing, some strategies they can start implementing on Twitter to increase their email signups. Now, why would you be doing that if you're just writing emails or you're just doing a sales page? You're doing that because by them getting more email signups, if you're writing emails, well, now you've got more leads to email to. Or if you're doing their sales copy, now you've got more potential leads that are going to increase the sales, which is going to directly impact your ability to give great results for your client. So once again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me in the Telegram group or on Twitter, and I will give you more help on that. But this archetype strategy is super, super useful, especially if you're writing for multiple clients like I am. That way you don't get lost in, like, I can literally sit down and work with this client, then an hour later work with this client, hour later work with this client, and everything is organized. So I'm going to go ahead and end this now, and I'll see you in the next module. I'm going to be recording quite a few modules today for you. So once again, have any questions, reach out to me. Talk to you soon.